Hello and welcome to another video from FPL Natty, and here we're going to talk about the £8 million midfielder. So if you like this video, subscribe, like it anyway, give me a thumbs up and ring the notification bell if you want to see when I'm going to be posting my next video. So let's see what falls into this price bracket, because there's quite a few. So I'm going to talk about 4 in particular, and any of these you can rotate into your squad for the upcoming game weeks, all throughout the season really. So let's give this one a go. So my first pick is Luis Diaz. He is the Liverpool midfielder. He came in January, I believe, of 2022, so just a couple months ago. So he played like half of a season. And for me, I think he is fantastic at this price point at 8 million. And as you can see, almost 30% currently of FPL owners have him in their squad. And it just makes sense. He's high pressing, he's ball control, long balls, and even for the short span that he was at Liverpool, he scored 4 goals and had 3 assists. He doesn't really get yellow cards, he doesn't fly into tackles, and so for me, it's a no-brainer to have him in your squad, and he's definitely going to be in my squad. And I think he's gonna, this ownership is definitely going to increase as time goes on. Some people might worry if his minutes will be damaged due to Darwin Núñez, who's come in. Also, they've still got Firmino and Jota to come back from injury. But for me, I think, seeing as Mane has left, the next best player is definitely Diaz, and he's just going to pick up exactly from where he left off. Next is Mason Mount, Mr. Lampard Jr., Lampard's favourite, but Lampard's at Everton now, so forget about him. But just in general, Mason Mount is a fantastic asset, fantastic Chelsea asset at 8 million. But I'm very, very surprised at his ownership. It's currently at 9.1%. But if you look at his heat map, he's all over that front midfield, particularly on the right-hand side, passing, playmaking. He's the clinical player. 11 goals and 11 assists last season. He returned 169 points, which currently is his best point state at the current stage of his playing. But I think that he can surpass that this year. There is a lot of creativity in that midfield, especially with the addition of Sterling, and some other of the forwards like Ziyech and possibly Werner can hopefully do better than they did last season. And up front they have Havertz as well, currently as well. But we'll see. There's a lot of movement happening in Chelsea, but one person who always plays, always first team on the team sheet, Tuchel never drops him, is Mason Mount. So he's currently on my watch list. He's definitely the most nailed Chelsea asset, and at 10%, just under 10% ownership, he's definitely a huge differential that can give you huge points for the season. Next, we have Phil Foden, the young wonder kid from Manchester. He's also got a fantastic lineup. I've spoken about some City players before, and for me, if you look at the running that they have, West Ham, Bournemouth, Newcastle, Palace, Forest and Villa, I think City can win pretty much all those games. The only challenging one out of those will probably be West Ham. But out of those, if you're talking about a City asset, I think he's one to go for, and he's got such low ownership at 6.6% currently. So I think you need to have him in your watch list or have him in your squad directly from the start. He's going to start the majority of games, particularly now that Raheem Sterling is no longer there. And even last year he was second for assists, and he got, I think, the 3rd highest goals for City as well. But I think he's quite a bit more versatile than Mahrez in terms of how he plays, but he's obviously a bit more expensive than Mahrez is. But the only thing for me that you need to worry about is Pep Roulette. Pep always likes to change and chop and change his squad. Obviously, a team like Manchester City are in many cups and competitions, so that's probably why they have the rotation that happens with there. But a player like this is fantastic. When you talk about Haaland, who's coming in, and Alvarez, that's also there, those are new players to the Premier League. But Phil Foden is not a seasoned player, but he's been there for a while now, and I think his place will be definitely cemented alongside Jack Grealish up there as a forward position. 9 goals, 6 assists last season. What can go wrong? Bukayo Saka. What an absolutely fantastic midfielder who plays for Arsenal. At 8 million, I think this is a great asset. He had a great season last season, scoring 11 goals and 11 assists. He's great with his right foot, his left foot. He's skillful, he's technical, he's passing, his playmaking. It's fantastic. As you can see from the heat map, on the right hand side is where he's positioned majority of the time, but he can also drift on the left. He can cut inside. Either way, he is a nightmare for fullbacks and defenders. And I think for me, he is one of the most nailed on Arsenal assets you're going to get, and basically nailed on midfield assets you're going to get. So I wouldn't be worried too much about the 5 substitution rule, because Saka is so pivotal to how Arsenal play, and you saw that when he was injured last time. They did struggle quite a lot in terms of their offensive work. But Saka this season, I think, will be a great asset. And only at 9% ownership. This is a huge differential. A lot of people are sleeping on Saka for this season, and they really shouldn't. The early games that they have, Everton, Spurs, the North London derby there, Leeds, Leicester, Southampton and West Ham. These are all winnable games, or games where Saka can make a huge difference. He makes sure that he gets in the penalty area a lot. I think only Mohamed Salah had more touches than him last time. And in terms of his goal attempts, it was just Salah and Mane last year that bettered him. So he, in the final third, is a major asset, and I think he can have a really, really good points haul in terms of goal, assists, and even possible bonus points for next year. And he can really challenge some of the top FPL assets in this game. So there you have it, guys. 4 £8 million midfielders that I am looking at. Who are they? Number 1. Can't remember who I just said. Mount, Saka, Diaz, and Foden. Mount, Saka, Diaz, and Foden. Mount, Foden, Saka, and Diaz. All of those will have a huge impact on your fantasy team in a positive way. We can chop and change those ones. Any of those. You can have all 4 in your squad, or you can have 3 or 2, or whatever game week you want, or if you have a wild card coming up, you may feel like any of those. And you can even add some others to the list. There's Kulusevski, there is Mahrez, and a bit more expensive you have Bowen as well. So there's a really great group of players that hold that 8.5 million pound midfielder. So let me know what you think of that in the comments. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and press the bell so you know when my next video is going to be, and I'm going to be on to the next one. So see you guys later.